Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the ACA Small Business Boot Camp and Resource Collective for this Tuesday, April 6th. We are excited to be here with you today. This session marks the start of about 5 sessions that we've done in conjunction with Startup Together AZ for the startup month of April. And so we've got a number of sessions where we're looking at Main Street and tech startups and how we can help them get started and grow their businesses. And today's going to be a great session to kick that off. As always, I'm Robert Theobald, the Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services. And we like to start these out by thanking all of our community partners. We could not do these boot camp sessions without all of their help, their time, and their expertise. This is just a sample. We have over 100 community partners that are helping with the boot camps and have helped over the last year. The Small Business Boot Camp is designed to help small businesses work through the COVID crisis and return stronger than ever. And it is a statewide initiative supported through our community partners. And the Boot Camp and Resource Collective started April 27th of 2020. So we are approaching the year mark. With that, we have done over 140 different sessions of the boot camp. And you can find that information on our Small Business Bootcamp website. In the website, you have the information to register for upcoming sessions. You have a link to the Resource Collective. And then the greatest tool of all is the link to, we have an archive with links to all the previous sessions that we've done. So we've got approximately 140 recorded sessions, creating a tremendous content library from our experts throughout the state. And so we have experts from the Small Business Development Centers, from SCORE. We have local CEOs that have shared their expertise, financial, marketing, etc. We've got it on there. For restaurants and shuttered venues, we recently did a special session to address the Shuttered Venue Operator Grant and the Restaurant Revitalization Fund federal programs. So you can find all that information on the archive. You can go back and view them anytime you want. The slide decks are also shared from those presentations. And for example, today's presentation will be recorded and it will be posted later today on the website. Additionally, as I mentioned, we have our Resource Collective, and the Resource Collective is a compilation of tools and guides and resources provided by our community partners. This is just a sample list of some of the guides and resources available on that Resource Collective. It is a great tool for all businesses. Additionally, our COVID-19 Arizona Business Resource webpage is a phenomenal tool to favorite and refer to often. You can find business guidance on there for all businesses in Arizona. There's financial resources, and that financial resources page we update anytime a new grant or program comes out to help businesses across the state. We list the federal, state, and local programs, and again, we update it constantly. So definitely a great website to be aware of. Additionally, the ACA has programs to help support small businesses. Our small business services can help work with the SBA, work with the SBDC, SCORE, and the other no-cost programs throughout the state. We can also help connect you with local banking contacts, depending on what your funding needs are and what you're looking for. Also, our workforce division can help businesses looking to grow and hire employees with some of their programs, and they also have programs to help train and upskill employees. And then finally, our Arizona MEP, our Manufacturing Extension Partnership, can help work with small to medium-sized manufacturers in all aspects of their business to help them grow and expand their operations. And then one last thing that's great for startups is our small business checklist. If you're looking to start a small business or expand your business line, our small business checklist is an online interactive tool to help entrepreneurs work through some of the basic licensing, registrations, and compliance questions at the local, state, and federal levels. It's a very in-depth checklist. It covers a lot of information, and it can be used as often as you like. You can email results to yourself, etc. So it is a great tool for those looking to start their business. And the last website, excuse me, I want to mention is the state's COVID-19 information and resource page, arizonatogether.org. So with that, I want to share a few updates. Just a reminder for the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant that the portal for applications opens on April 8th. The link in this website will be posted in the chat. This link is to the actual application, so you can start looking through it and figuring out what you need so you are prepared to apply once it opens on the 8th. Additionally, for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, there was an update that the SBA sent out through Twitter last week, noting that the restaurants will not have to get a DUNS number or get a sam.gov account. So that was some great news for restaurants as they prepare for their Restaurant Revitalization Fund program. Additionally, the PPP Extension Act expanded PPP loans can be done up till May 31st, which is exciting. And then again, as a reminder, check out Startup Together AZ. We'll post the website there. A lot of great programs going on this week, next week, throughout April for startup businesses, both tech startups, Main Street businesses, some great information. So take a look at that program. So with that, I want to look at this week's sessions and next week's sessions. So today we have no cost small business support programs. On Thursday, we have how to start your small business in Arizona. Excuse me. And then next week on Tuesday, we have how to prioritize your marketing efforts. And Thursday, positioning your business for success. We've got a lot of great speakers lined up for these sessions. We're excited to have them. And again, for those that are new, we do the boot camps every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. And you can go to the website that we talked about earlier for the boot camp and register for those. We'd love to have you join us on future sessions if you're new. So with that, we're gonna turn the time over to today's speakers. We're gonna hear from Janice Washington. She's the state director for the Arizona SBDC Network. We'll then hear from Steve Engelhardt, who is the president of the SCORE Greater Phoenix chapter, and we have 3 SCORE chapters throughout the state of Arizona. And then we're going to hear from Laura Suarez, the new program director for the Chicanos por la Causa Women's Business Center. It's a new program that just launched and new to Phoenix, but they also have additional locations around the state. So we're excited to hear from them. So with that, I am going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and turn the time over to Janice to share about their programs.
Thank you, Bob. Let's see and share my screen.
And while Janice is pulling up her presentation, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A box. We should have some time at the end for questions from our participants. So again, please share questions in the Q&A, and we'll use the chat for additional information that we need to share with everybody.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Janice Washington. I'm the state director. I have the pleasure of being the state director of the America's SBDC Arizona Network. We have 10 locations across the state. We're connected with, from a state standpoint, hosted by Maricopa Community College District, but we also are connected with 9 other community college districts around the state. The lead center is in Tempe. We also have the pleasure of hosting the statewide Arizona Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So you see SBDC, you see PTAC, and so in our world, we have lots of acronyms. We're also proud to be in partnership with the Arizona Commerce Authority. We started that partnership in 2019, and we've been able to do some amazing work together. We have a number of other local partnerships, for example, with the city of Peoria and the city of Page. Our counseling is provided at no cost, and that's by design because we want people to get the help that they need. And we provide quite a bit of training that's either no cost or low cost And then we have other resources that we make available to small businesses. We've been here a long time, since 1988. So I know there are a number of people on the call, and if you haven't heard of us, don't feel bad about that. Unfortunately, we're still too much of a best kept secret, but we have been here providing customized one-on-one counseling since then. We have a number of business analysts who are experienced. A lot of them are former business owners. They're often subject matter experts. They're trained and certified in a number of different areas. And our program overall is accredited by the America's SBDC program. That accreditation is pretty significant. It's based on the Malcolm Baldrige quality principles of continuous improvement. So everything that we do is geared around continuously improving. How do we serve Arizona small businesses at every level? Launch, growing, and sustaining. We spent most of the last number of years up until 2020 launching and growing businesses and really focusing on growing. But 2020 was pretty much a year where sustainability and resilience became the priorities of the day. We have identified, in addition to our core training and counseling services, we have identified some key initiatives over the years, and those are tied to national, state, and local economic development priorities. As a network, we focus on all 8 of these, but our 10 centers around the states have service areas. And so we've asked them to identify the priorities that are important in their local areas and make sure that they have programs and services that support those. Some things on the list are just the right thing to do. So you see veterans, you see underserved populations, et cetera, et cetera. And so we have those as key priorities because they're just the right thing to do. Notice that our procurement initiative, it's really shaped by our statewide Arizona Procurement Technical Assistance Program, which you'll hear a little bit more about later. The bottom line is we're here, we've been here since 1988. And the key thing is that we want to contribute to the economic impact, not only of the businesses that we serve, but also for the communities and for the state. As I said previously, we help businesses at all stages of development. We have a number of people who come to us thinking that they want to start a new business. And so that's our pre-venture. A number of them, we help them successfully start up. And then most businesses do want to grow and grow substantially. But when a pandemic hits, you have to often pivot, and that's what we did. And so we focused a lot on helping businesses sustain what they had created over the years. And then when that was not feasible to do, we helped them with transitioning and exiting. And these are some things that we do all the time. It's just that the environment kind of forced us to focus on some aspects of this more than others. When we work with business owners, you guys have heard this story about rather than feeding somebody fish, you want to teach them to fish. Well, we do that. We definitely teach people to fish. If they want to be entrepreneurs and create their own jobs, then that's what we teach them how to do. But if they want to become job creators, we teach them the business of fishing. So it really depends on what you want when you come to see us. We will talk to you and develop a roadmap to get you to where you want to go. These are just some of the areas of our technical assistance more specifically. Obviously, over the last year, disaster loan assistance has been key. There have been a number of programs that have come out from our federal partners, a couple of stimulus programs. Bob mentioned some of the specific programs that are relatively new that are still ongoing and available for you. So very often we're helping people access those and navigate those and make sense of those so that they can utilize those resources to keep their business going. And then part of that is often once they have achieved a certain level, then we talk about another what's the strategy for the next steps to help them to go from there. Access to capital is always important. So that's a very important program of ours. Lender readiness, preparation, and packaging. A lot of times when you go for a loan, the difference can be how well did you put together your package and how much do you understand what you need the money for and how well you can articulate how you're going to pay it back, because that's what lenders want to know, how you're going to pay it back. Financial review and resiliency assessment, that's become a lot more important in 2020 and now into 2021. The pandemic is something that most of us have never experienced before. Certainly not something I thought I experienced in my lifetime, but it's here, it is evolving, and so our services are designed to address that. Businesses are at various stages of response, recovery, resilience, reinvention, whatever it takes. And so our team is very skilled in working with businesses and helping them assess where they are on that spectrum and then developing a plan based on that. So business plan development, market assessment and planning. With the effects of the pandemic being such as they have been, a number of businesses have had to pivot from an online, from an in-person presence to an online presence. And what does that mean? And how can you successfully do that? So a number of people on our team are very skilled at helping businesses sort that out. And then we've had businesses who have, wanted to buy or sell as a part of this. Exit strategies become a lot more significant in a pandemic. The bottom line is we help businesses to address the situation, assess it, re-examine, reveal, pivot, revitalize, do what you need to do to keep going. So I apologize for the small print on this slide. It's pretty small, but what we wanted to do is just show you kind of an example of some of the resources that we use to help small businesses when we work with you. We, most of these are national partners of ours that we have chosen to invest in the Arizona Network. Growth Wheel is a 360 assessment. And so it's really designed to help businesses at all levels from startup to, getting to that point of, resilience. What does that mean for our business? So it really is a process that we can take you through to assess where you are as a business and develop a roadmap for where you need to go. Live Plan is an online business planning tool that we have invested in starting last year heavily, but even prior to that. The thing is, business plans are very important. Why? Because they give you an opportunity to think through the scenarios that could occur and develop a plan for addressing whatever hits you. And as technology has improved, we have incorporated Live Plan, which is an online version of that. And it just gives you the ability to do a lot more analysis, to look at a lot more data and compile a lot of data quickly so that you can spend the time analyzing, what's going to occur. And of course, we have business analysts right there to work through that process with you. Profit Sense is another tool that we've invested in. It is a tool that gives us a lot of financial ratios. And a lot of times it's very helpful to you as a business owner to be able to compare and contrast your situation with others in the industry. So we too think that's a very important tool. SBDCnet.org and IBISWorld are two of our research tools. Again, if you're thinking about starting a business, you want to know what's out there. If you're in a business and you need to make some changes, you want to know what's out there. These are some incredible tools that are available that we've been able to invest in over the last several years. So SBDC.net we've had for a number of years, but IBISWorld is a relatively new investment for us, and we're proud to be able to do that. The more information you have, the more powerful your situation is going to be. So how does it work, especially now that we're all online? The first thing you would do is go to our website and complete a request for counseling form. Counseling is by appointment only. Up until early March of 2020, we had great offices all over the state. So you could connect with us via the website or come into our office. But we're currently working remotely for the most part. There are some face-to-face meetings that are occurring in various parts of the state, but most of it is virtual, primarily through the website or by phone. The good thing for us is that when this pandemic occurred, we literally had to take an a statewide in-person operation and move it to remote services. And I'm pleased to say we were able to do that relatively easily because of some of the previous investments that we have made in the organization, but we made others since then to try to make it a seamless experience for you. We want to help you, and we're taking our own advice. We had to pivot as well to make sure we were there for you when you needed us. Initial sessions, and you'll have a follow-on session. Set some goals, you set a roadmap, and then we track that. We track that. And remember, we're talking about no cost advising. And the value of that is significant. It cannot be understated. We have people who are former successful business owners that are here to give back. You know, I personally work for large corporations and had an accounting practice working with small businesses for a number of years. So we're in a position now where we've gained a lot of experience, either through our own personal experience or the experience of working with others, and we can share that with you. So we have 60 plus people around the state from all different walks of life and background. But the one thing that unites us is our passion for helping small businesses. We have some webinars and training events as well. These are just some examples. And Bob talked about some of them. Shout out to the Small Business Bootcamp, Bob. A lot of focus on disaster relief over this last year in particular. Digital marketing, I talked about, people are having to do their business handle their business in an entirely different way. And that involves some technical expertise that many of our clients needed to acquire. A lot of reimagining and rebuilding going on. 2020 has been a year of lessons learned and observing, silver linings. And so we try to work with our clients to try to, help them through the situation wherever they are. But ultimately, the goal is to help them, find that strength and resilience and do the pivoting that they need to rebuild and then go beyond. Specialty topics. Restaurant now is a specialty topic. You would not have thought that some years ago, but with the effect of the pandemic, it has made it so. And of course, we continue to focus on manufacturing and technology because of all of those things that those businesses bring to the table. We have a new website coming. We're pretty excited about that. It's several months away just because we're really doing a deep dive this time, but trying to do a number of things to make it more convenient for you. We believe that the future is going to involve some new combination of in-person and virtual interactions. And so this investment in the new website is to help better prepare us for that. I mentioned our Procurement Technical Assistance Center, PTAC. The thing that I want to emphasize is that their focus is on procurement through the government contracting, but it's at the federal, state, and local levels. So we have a great relationship. They are part of our team, a lot of great integration that goes on between the PTAC and the SBDC. But one of the things that we have been able to help businesses consider as they deal with the pandemic and other situations that come up when you're in business is that diversification is important, and that helps you to be able to more seamlessly pivot from one area to another. And sometimes we do recognize that sometimes the government lingo can sound like a foreign language, but I assure you, we have a staff of PTAC professionals that understand the government lingo, but they also understand the business world, and they're able to help you navigate that. So some of our SBDC clients have some really great products and services that translate beautifully in the government procurement area, and some of our most successful clients have done so through government procurement. And the symbiotic relationship that we have is that when the clients are ready for government procurement, successful government procurement, we refer them to PTAC. And then when PTAC gets clients who have contracts, but they need some further business development and financial analysis, then that's where the SBDC team can help. We want to make sure that you as a business owner have every opportunity for success. And if you spent the majority of your business life in the private sector, great. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's plenty more of that to come. But there's also another path that you could take in the government procurement area. And we want to make sure that you just know about all the options that are out there. I mentioned our partnership with ACA. It started in April of 2019, and we ended our first year in March 2020. And boy, was that great timing, because that's really when the pandemic hit us in March of 2020. So when that happened, we were already working as partners. We had already kind of ironed out what you need to do whenever you start a new partnership. So our original goal was to have greater outreach to the rural communities. And now it has grown to not only rural, but an urban initiative around small businesses. So we're happy to be in the partnership. We're so happy that it started a year before the pandemic, and it gave us that time to get everything together. And so when the pandemic hit, we were ready to just move together quickly and mobilize with each other for the benefit of the small businesses. And one example of that, of course, is this boot camp. We have some success stories, so just want to take a few moments to spotlight some of our clients. Superstition Meadery started in Prescott, Arizona, and they achieved success there. I'll be honest with you, when I first heard of them, I didn't know what mead was, but I have found out that it's hard cider. So they have that, and they have wonderful food. They've expanded to Phoenix. They were hit by the pandemic just like everybody else, so they had to reduce their workforce, I think, to around 10 people. And when the disaster assistance came from the SBA, they were able to hire back up to 30. And then they proceeded with their expansion plans in the city of Phoenix and hired 60 new people. So that's pretty impressive. And that's one example of what having a partner in the form of the SBDC, in this case, work with you to do some planning to help you navigate through these different levels of events. Neiman Solution won a contract for 114 million. So we do work with people who are trying to obtain their 8A, who already have it, but to help them more effectively capitalize on that. They are one of our clients, I believe from Southern Arizona. So again, we're helping people all over the state. And when you see a contract of that size, you know that revenue is not far behind it. So revenue, job creation is going to be substantial with that. And we're happy to work with clients to help them get those contracts. One of our most successful clients is Odal Management Group. Lisa has done an outstanding job leveraging SBA resources and SBDC assistant, woman-owned, minority-owned. The stats that you see there are older. So by the time she grew up too large to be considered a small business and work with us, she had over 1,200 clients. And then in 2020, in the height of the pandemic, she actually merged with Ecker Foundation. Some of you may recall that Ecker was a longstanding drugstore for many, many years. They sold, I think, to Walgreens, and now they have a foundation, though, that is still in the education business, merged with Odell Management Group. And as a result of the merger, they the number of employees rose to around 5,000, which is really just phenomenal, just phenomenal. Working with the SBDC can lead you to many places, and you can start out small and you can achieve the kind of success that these companies have achieved. You know, the key is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Here are some of our stats. This is what we were able to help businesses achieve in 2020. We saw record numbers in terms of jobs retained. So we showed created and retained, but most of those are jobs retained because of the businesses we were able to help. The businesses created over 130 million in capital. Our sales increase, although impressive on its own, was obviously lower because of the effects of the pandemic. What difference does it make when you work with the Arizona SBDC? Since 1988, almost 5,000 businesses have started, 36,000 jobs, sales increases, new capital over $1 billion, $1 billion with a B. And so that's a lot of impact in communities and for the state of Arizona over the years. The bottom line is, we're here to help. We want you to grow faster, smarter, stronger. We want you to be here for the long haul, and we'll help you figure out what that means and what you'll need to do to get there. We're happy to help, and I look forward to answering any questions that you guys may have.
Excellent. Thank you, Janice. We do have some questions, but we'll get to those at the very end after everybody's had a chance to talk, and we'll. But there are some very good questions in the Q&A. So again, everybody, please place your questions in the Q&A, and we will get to them as we wrap up. Let's go ahead and turn the time over to Steve. Steve, if you could share about SCORE and what SCORE is.
Okay, thank you. I'll try and hurry through this a little bit so we've got enough time left for Laura. So SCORE is another resource partner of the Small Business Administration. It was started 60 years ago. The primary reason SCORE was formed was to help small businesses write business plans, because the SBA realized that was the reason a lot of small businesses failed. So we're very active in that. One thing we try and impress on people is that that business plan is a living document. It's not for just when you start the business. We want you to look at it on a regular basis to continue to change it and modify it, because your business changes. So it's important to do that. Next. Next slide, please. Thank you. So like I said, we're a nonprofit resource partner of the Small Business Administration. One thing we're very proud of in this disaster year, we've achieved the highest rating that can be given to a SCORE chapter of Platinum. We were also the district chapter of the year in 2020. So it's nice to have some recognition from SBA. Next, please. So it's free one-on-one mentoring, in person, online, telephone, email, however you need it, we'll do it. All SCORE mentors are volunteers. The only paid people in this organization are if a chapter has an administrative assistant or some of the people in Washington, D.C. on staff that are paid. Otherwise, everybody's a volunteer. Everybody has had a long experience in business. In Phoenix, almost everybody is an MBA. There are 65 of us. Almost everybody has either been to a director or vice president level or owned a company. So we've got a lot of bumps and bruises, and we're glad to keep you from getting them if we can. People ask us why we volunteer to do this. It's not a job for us. We're not paid to do this. We do it because we love business. And I think more importantly, all of us are paying it forward. Every single one of us had somebody that reached down during our career and helped us and pulled us forward. And we feel we have a debt to repay. And that's why most of us volunteer to do this. We're repaying that debt. We do workshops and seminars and all kinds of events. I was telling Robert before this started that just this week, SCORE Phoenix alone is doing 8 workshops. If you add SCORE Tucson and SCORE Prescott and National, we're doing about 15 workshops this week. So we're very active. At score.org, there are a massive amount of resources. There's business plans, there's templates for financial statements, there's white papers, there's all kinds of stuff there. It's all free. We love to help small businesses grow. Jelly Belly, we worked with them up to where they're a $160 million company. Vera Bradley. In Phoenix last year, during the pandemic, this chapter started 531 new businesses, and we created 1,070 brand new jobs. That doesn't come anywhere close to counting all the jobs we saved by working with people on PPP grants and that type of thing. There were thousands more. I know during the month of March and April, I was going 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, answering PPP questions. Oh, geez, that was interesting. Okay, next, please. Like I said, we're formed in '64. There's 13,000 volunteers across the US and 300 chapters. Over 3 million hours get donated by volunteers annually. Think of the savings of that to the government. And this is just a little old. Last year, the businesses started were 75,000. Jobs created were about 119,000. And most of our businesses we work with increase our revenue, 72% of them. Please, next slide. So that's what I just said, 13,000 volunteers all across the country. Next slide, please. So Greater Phoenix SCORE operates 23 locations with 65 mentors. Tucson has 8 locations with 30 mentors. Prescott has 7 locations with 22 mentors. Now with virtual, doesn't make any difference. That makes us location independent. One of the nice things you can do is get on the National SCORE website and put in a keyword of somebody you're looking for. It won't necessarily send you to your local chapter. It'll send you to a mentor anywhere in the US that has that skill. I talked to a client yesterday that had a very special need, but I knew that nobody here in Phoenix could fill. He got on, put in his keyword, got the exact person he needed. Recently had somebody that wanted to talk about writing Hollywood scripts. We can't do that. I got a hold of the Hollywood chapter, and I found several mentors in that chapter that knew that business. If somebody asks about export, import, shipping on the ocean, those kind of things, I can get a hold of the coast chapters and get those mentors. So we're totally location independent now, which is great. Next slide. It's interesting. 56% of the people we mentor are women, 31% are minorities, 12% were veterans. I got a hunch that this slide, this particular slide came from National. I got a hunch the minorities are wrong, because I know from my experience, the minority percentage we talk about here in Phoenix is much higher. And in Phoenix, I'm also proud to say that 36% of our mentors are either female or minority. That's something we actively recruit for. Next. So we're here for the life of your business. We'll help you with business planning, product, service, and review, financial insights, marketing, promotion, recommendations, total resource planning, strategies for improving vendor relationships, all kinds of stuff. Well, as long as your business is there, we're here to help you through all phases of it. Next, please. So we're there with pre-startups, we're there with startups, and firms that are in business. We work with all of you. Doesn't make any difference. Next, please. So if you're in the pre-startup or startup phase, we'll review your business plans, work over that with you. I feel that's real key. There's a lot of people that want to start a business that probably shouldn't be doing it. And it's pretty obvious that what's going to happen is they're going to get into it and they're going to lose grandma's investment in it. One way to keep people from doing that a lot of times is to get them to write a business plan. And in that process, they'll realize it's not going to work. Or the business plan shows them what it takes to make it work. We are very strong on business planning. We'll explain how to apply for, back please. We'll explain how to apply for licenses, purchase equipment. Like if you want to get an LLC, we won't just send you a white paper on how to do it or tell you where to go. Many times I've been online with people going through the LLC process right as they're doing it. We have some attorneys on staff. They cannot give legal advice because they're retired. What they can do is look at those legal documents and tell you what questions you should be asking. They'll help you finding legal and CPA service, how to pick the right person for you, advise you with negotiations, coach you through finance preparations. Most of us have been in that business situation where we've gone out and gotten loans and negotiated. So we know how to do this stuff because we've done it. Next, please. Prepare you for new growth. We review your current business situation, identify new markets. During this pandemic, we have helped a ton of companies shift and pivot to virtually whole new businesses. I've been pretty proud of some things we've accomplished. We look at your product portfolio, help you with some SWOT analysis. For those of you who don't know SWOT, that's strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. We identify different business options and develop new growth strategies. Please, next slide. So the mentoring can be face-to-face in any of the 300 chapters. Like I said, virtual or telephone, email, however you need it. It was very easy for us to do. We didn't have to buy equipment or anything. No budget. Everybody just went home, turned their computer on, and started video mentoring. The educational sessions, you just about can't pick a topic we haven't done one on. We do all kinds of them. Roundtables. We've started a whole bunch of peer-to-peer stuff, especially here in Phoenix. We have business owner roundtables where we'll get together 6 to 12 presidents of different companies, meet with them as a group monthly. We've got a number of those groups in town, and we're building more and more of them because you tend to learn more from those business people than you do from us talking to you. It's when you can get with your peers and discuss and solve your problems, that's a great way to get things done. So we have a wide collection of articles and templates and assessments and all kinds of things. We have got some wonderful financial tools. One of the guys that just transferred in here from Orange County, he and his CPA partner in Orange County had developed some great what-if type tools for finance that we're using and spreading through the chapter. So next, please. So this is a lot of stuff I've been talking about, the templates and blogs and workshops. And you don't have to go it alone. We're there to help. Next, please. So the all those thousands of square meters out there, that's about nearly 500,000 years worth of business experience to help you out. Things like government sales is a good example. You can get a lot of training on how to do it, but it's not the training you get from somebody that's had to do it. I can tell you, I've done a lot of it. Those training courses don't tell you all the stuff you need to know. I know a bunch of stuff about how to be successful at government training that's not in anybody's book. Next, please. So this is how to contact us. This is our phone number. Leave a message. We don't have an administrator. There's nobody in the office. Leave a message. We'll call you back. You can also email. That's SCORE Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix is misspelled. Sorry. Spell Phoenix right and you'll get it. info@phoenix.org. And then you've got my information, my phone number at scorevolunteer.org. Geez, volunteers misspelled. See, Faith, I told you I needed you to monitor my PowerPoints. I got them all screwed up. Stephen.engler@scorevolunteer.org. If you'll get in touch with me, I'll put you with a mentor that can help you gladly. And I think that's all I've got. Laura?
All right, Laura, as you're pulling up your screen, I'm going to post Steve's correct email in the chat for everybody.
Here, let me move this. Perfect. Thank you so much. And so I promise won't take up too much time. My name is Laura. I am the program director for the Women's Business Center here in Phoenix. We haven't had a Women's Business Center in some time, and so we're really excited that we are back in Phoenix. We are one of two women's business centers here in Arizona, and I'll give a little bit more of a description of the one in Tucson at the end of the presentation. And so this is a little bit about us. The Small Business Administration, the SBA, officially announced that Chicanos por la Causa, Préstamos, was selected to operate in the Phoenix metro area for the Women's Business Center in January. So we got the official announcement in January that we had been granted the award for the Women's Business Center. CPLC Préstamos has been providing mission-based small business lending and quality business education for over 20 years and is very excited to extend the program offerings directly to support our small business community. And so again, I just really want to highlight Préstamos is a community development financial institution here in the Valley. And so if you're thinking about a loan or thinking about applying for a grant and need assistance, we're able to offer that in-house. The Women's Business Center, all women's business centers provide free to low cost counseling, training, and while anybody can utilize our services and our resources, the focus of the centers are for women who want to start businesses, want to grow businesses, want to expand their businesses. And so like Steve and Janice, we are the SBA's resource partner. So I always think of the Women's Business Center and SCORE and SBDC like a little triangle of resources, and we kind of interchange between all of us to provide all of that information, resources or guidance, counseling, coaching, training. So what do? We assist women-owned businesses through education, technical assistance, and access to capital. We create an inclusive and diverse business center for participants to collaborate. We also create financial and networking opportunities for women who are thinking about starting a business or have been in business for a while, but need assistance from other people who've already lived it, are going through it, and need that one-on-one support. We expand current businesses and startup ventures. Sorry, I'm going to move this really quickly. Yes, there we go. And then we also expand with employment, capital growth, government procurement opportunities, and certifications for women contracting. So if you're thinking about learning about what those certifications mean for your business and interested in participating and applying for them, we're a center that can help you with those certain things. How do I move? Oh, not letting me. There it goes. How do we do it? So one of the biggest things that we believe in is understanding that the process of entrepreneurship is a journey and that no two stories are alike. So our services and programming will focus on areas of small business ownership. So whether you're still in that consideration stage of your business or you are an established business and are looking to grow, that you'll receive the help that is custom tailored to meet your needs based on those unique situations. And so we know that somebody that wants to start a bakery is going to have different hardships or maybe different struggles than a person that is thinking about opening up a hair salon. And so we want to make sure that we're meeting your needs exactly as you're kind of going through them. And so no two businesses are going to look alike, and then no two services are going to be the same. So we accomplished this through virtual meetings. I know because of the pandemic, we're still in the virtual realm. And so we'll do one-on-one with you virtually, virtual programming. We'll have, self-paced online curriculum so that like our resource partners, we'll also have a space where you can go online. If you didn't, maybe you missed a workshop, or maybe you missed a cohort, a business planning cohort, and you want to do it at the end of the night once your kids are asleep and it's your me time, that you're able to be on our platform and have access to them as well. And then of course, very soon, hopefully soon, we'll be able to do in-person programming. And so then you'll be able to also have, again, that person connection where you're able to meet people from different backgrounds that are able to provide that, I always call it like a camaraderie. We're going through the same things, and sometimes when we're business owners, we think we're alone. Well, we're hoping that, once the pandemic kind of just eases, that we're able to go back to in-person because nothing like having that connection with another person and building a relationship with someone that could potentially be going through the same things that you are. One of the examples of the type of programming that you'll be able to see with the Women's Business Center is we'll have financial literacy programs. So if you're thinking about starting a small business, but you're not sure how your personal budgeting looks like, or you don't know what your credit looks like, and you want to maybe get it together, you want to start really taking a deep dive into your personal finances, you'll be able to do that. And we'll also be able to start going into your business finances. And so those are just some of the things that you're going to see as far as like the financial literacy goes. We'll also be able to have business planning. I know Steve said it's huge to have a good business plan in line, because maybe you're going to go talk to an investor, or maybe you're going to go out for a loan, and you're going to need to know exactly, what you want, where your business is going, and have your financials in line, so that when someone is ready to listen to your story, listen to your pitch, that you're able to know it 100% like the back of your hand. Next. So these are some of the things that you're going to be able to see with the Women's Business Center. We'll offer individualized coaching, micro lending, technical assistance. We'll have workshops. There'll be opportunities for networking. And then there's going to be an array of resources for you that we'll have available. Our expert coaches are here to empower you in areas of financial management. I had just spoken about personal finances and how important they are. Accounting, human resources, website and digital strategies, operation management, and then in marketing. One of the biggest things now and in this new age is websites and having a marketing brand, understanding branding and what that means. And so we'll be able to offer one-on-one coaching for that, but then also have cohorts where you'll learn with other people as well. Where you're going to be able to find us. So our center is going to be located off of 10th Street in Buckeye. And so if you're in the Phoenix area, it's a little bit south of the downtown Phoenix area. We'll be on the second floor of that plaza. And our space is going to be a space where you can go co-work. We're thinking about it being a co-working space where if someone needs a room to have a meeting in, that there's a place for someone to be there. A brand new entrepreneur sometimes doesn't, maybe you don't want to meet at a coffee shop and you want something more private. So this is kind of what we envision. That's our center right there. And those are the ladies involved in the Women's Business Center. And then stay tuned, because we're officially launching the Women's Business Center. I know it's already like the first week of April. So in a few more weeks, we'll be able to officially announce the official start date. I'm saying official a lot. We're really excited to announce that we'll be opening our doors virtually first in mid-April. So I will keep everybody updated. If you want more information, you want to learn about when the Women's Business Center will be open, you can join our interest list, which that link I'll actually I'm going to link a few things at the very end, and so I'll link it in the chat. And so that's our website for now. And so at the very end of that, you can enter your information, and we'll be keeping you updated as well. And then for more information, again, you can go into the center, or you can reach me at my email address, which is laura.suarez@cplc.org. There's a few things that I wanted to mention as well before I end the presentation. So I had mentioned that there is a women's business center. So if you are in the Tucson or South Arizona area, the YWCA does have their women's business center. And so I'll also be linking the website. So if you want more information, or you want to get one-on-one counseling, coaching, training in the Tucson area, you can go ahead and click on that link as well. And then also, I really wanted to point out that we do have another program funded in part by the SBA called Program to Invest in Micro Entrepreneurs, or the PRIME program, that is available through September 30th, where micro entrepreneurs will receive training through webinars, live Q&A sessions, and one-on-one business counseling at no charge. And so if you're interested in that program, I'll also link the website below. It's completely free to entrepreneurs, and so please take advantage. We have this program available up until September 30th for you to take advantage of. And with that, I will end my session, and I'll start clicking on and sending you guys the link. Let me stop share. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, Steve, and Janice, for your presentations about your programs. They're all great programs. One thing that's really nice to know is all three of these programs are funded in part by the SBA, the Small Business Administration. They are cousin programs, so they're all there to help small businesses start, grow, and develop. And so we're glad to have them on. So we're going to jump in and hit some of the questions real quick, and we'll leave these out for the panelists. And some of the folks that put some questions in, I did send responses to you in a typed version. But first one is, if I want to start a business because I want to employ others, the thing I'm not certain about what business to run. Do you have workshops for beginners like me in the planning stage?
Yeah, I'll jump in on that. We certainly do. SCORE Monthly does at least one workshop on the ABCs of starting a small business. And we do that in several versions. Because of the pandemic, we've had to change it a little bit. We used to do a 3-hour Saturday workshop on starting a small business. With the pandemic, nobody's going to sit and look at their screen for 3 hours. So we broke it up into starting, business planning, and finance. And we do it in 3 sections now. So that's what we've been doing for the last year. And we're going to continue that on into the future. But I am so happy to announce that as of May 15, we're going back live again with the 3-hour Saturday workshop. And that is a great time to jump in and come learn about starting a business, because that is all that's about. That's not about operating your business. That's about starting a business.
Excellent. Thanks, Steve. So the next question we have is, I have tried to connect with the SBA for no cost advising in the last year, but then online connects you to outside sources. I have no idea how or who to call, so I called 3 places, never heard back from anyone. I understand COVID, but it's discouraging. Feels like people only want to help known big small businesses. What am I doing wrong?
So Bob, if you would put the contact information in for the SBDC, I'm sure all 3 of us will be happy to assist. But one of the values that we bring to the table is we want to take away the frustration, that people were experiencing, especially during the middle of a pandemic type of situation. And we've been able to help a number of people get the access that they need. And I think both Steve and Laura talked about how passionate people are. And so we just don't give up. So if you reach out to us and connect to us we are advocates on your behalf to get you the assistance that you need.
Yep. And I'll throw in there is, I know during the last year, things have been crazy for a lot of organizations. And so there have been some phone calls that fell through the crack. And if you feel like you're in that situation, you can also contact me directly, and I will get you in direct contact with one of these 3 organizations through a personal email connection or however we need to do it. That's part of what I do, is making sure we get everybody connected with the right organization to fit their needs. So the next question we have, and this is a good one, is I opened a small restaurant in May of 2020. As a woman's small business owner, I didn't qualify for any of the loans or grants. Now I'm not able to hire enough employees. Where can I get more resources or support? I would really appreciate your help. My business has big potential to grow.
You know, and again, just reach out to the Maricopa Center. Do you have the Maricopa Center contact information? She mentioned Phoenix, but I know that they have a number of programs. There are some requirements that have to be met in terms of timing and what have you. You know, but the reality is, once you connect with us, you have another resource partner who will take a look at your particular situation and see what kind of options there are for you. And a lot of new resources are coming out for restaurants, because restaurants were very, very hard hit. So that would be my best advice to you, to reach out to us. Any one of us can help you with that. Mm-hmm. The restaurant information, the new resources is relatively new. So it's kind of coming out as we speak. But even so, we would be very interested in seeing what we could do to help, especially if you have good food, which is important to all of us.
We can sit one-on-one and have a conversation with you and try to figure out, you know, what you do qualify for. I know that when the pandemic hit, everybody had already been maybe established a year or two, you know, prior, and so a lot of those that started in during the pandemic were like, well, what do I do? So there's a lot more resources now that are available to people, even those that started during the pandemic, and we would be happy to sit down with you and have a chat. I also linked my email address in the chat if you're interested.
All right, we have
there wasn't enough information there for me to be able to give a good answer. I've got a lot of restaurant experience, but there just wasn't enough information. What you need to, sit down and talk to some of us and let us probe what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I'm sure you can get some help.
So we have right on time. We have one last question that's perfect to wrap up with. And it says, how do I pick one of these organizations over the other? Also, can I be mentored, counseled at all 3 organizations?
You don't pick one over the other. You choose all of us.
There you go. Good answer.
I think the big thing is, it doesn't matter who you pick. Pick one of the 3 of us. It's a lot the same. Just do something. Mm-hmm. Don't go it by yourself. You'll save a lot of money and a lot of grief if you just at least pick one and get something going.
Mm-hmm. Then I would agree with that. And the thing is, we work together. Mm-hmm. We work together. And you'll see with his millions of volunteers, oh, maybe not millions, but anyway, you know, there's one of us somewhere throughout the statewide system and the statewide network that are going to be able to come up with something. And we're not competitors. We collaborate and we work together because we're all interested in businesses being successful.
And we're free.
Yes.
No cost.
There's no cost.
No cost. Oh, you're right. No cost. Just kidding. Not free.
You know, that was a great way to wrap up. That was a great answer, Janice. I know for a fact that all 3 organizations work together. I work with all 3 of them. I know they interact. We interact. And as Steve and Janice said, get started with somebody. And if you still have questions, you're not sure which one, you can reach out to me. And with my knowledge of all 3, I can try to guide you to one that may fit your needs best. But we're all here to help small businesses grow, get started and grow and develop, and here support. Now, I do see a few more questions pop in. We are kind of headed over in time. So with those questions that came in, we appreciate everybody being part of this. Reach out to us if you have any other questions. Again, Steve, Janice, Laura, thank you for your time today and sharing that information. We appreciate all the attendees for being on, and we hope to see you on our next session on Thursday. Or next week. Again, last note is this is being recorded and will be on our website later today if you want to go back and review it and to get those information. So thank you, and everybody have a great day, and we'll see you later.
Thank you, Bob. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.